Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Brother Sister Show, a family-owned and operated podcast where two siblings keep in touch by talking about movies. This week, on episode 115, we're talking about Uncharted and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Did you almost forget?
This year. Yeah, I did.
Same.
It's like I have it, and I even have tabs open. I don't know why I don't look at them. I have like tabs open.
You're like you're like David Blaining it. You're like, it'll just come to me.
I don't need the technology. It's in my brain.
We also kind of did called like an audible on what we were doing. So it kind of was a little bit confusing. Like we were going to do Dog, spoiler alert, but then you didn't have time to, and honestly, I didn't want to go see that movie, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up liking, spoiler, I ended up liking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it was a fun experience to watch. I didn't like it as a movie.
Okay.
And I more so liked it because I feel like I have a lot of fun shit to talk about. I just had a lot of funny ideas. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to write this down. Like I wanted to take notes for the podcast.
And I think, oh God, we're like already getting into it's fine. So I think the reason you wanted to watch Dog, and okay, so the reason I'm kind of sad we didn't is because our text conversation was kind of funny, and I wanted to use that for something. Yeah. But that's why you wanted to watch it, right? Because you thought it'd be funny. I don't think it's funny. I think it's just a sad movie. So I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is what you wanted, is like the gold mine of content that you wanted. Yeah. Because it truly was like...
It was wild.
Wild. Yeah.
But also, I didn't realize Dog was like co-directed by Channing Tatum. Like, I didn't know
Dog or something? Who else directed it?
Let me look it up. But I saw that and I
didn't know that either.
I saw like an article somewhere saying like talking about how he was, the director. Channing Tatum and Reed Carolyn.
Interesting. Maybe I'll still watch it this weekend. I don't know.
Looks like a producer for a lot of his films, but this is his debut.
You know what? Now that, because we're not going to talk about him obviously since we didn't watch the movie. I like him a lot.
Channing Tatum?
Every time I see him in a trailer, I get I feel like he is what Hollywood wants The Rock to be to me. Like I don't really care about The Rock as much, but every time I see Channing Tatum, I'm very excited for this bulk funny guy.
Oh, yeah, I could see. Yeah, I guess so.
I think I've already talked about this, but that Lost City movie, which I'm sure you saw the trailer when you went to go see Uncharted.
Yeah, that one looks exciting.
That's premiering at South by, and I'm very excited to see it. I thought you would think too that it'd be a movie where I'm like, oh God, that looks stupid. But this is my Uncharted, The Lost City. I'm very excited to see that movie.
That one's probably going to be better than Uncharted. We're getting too much into the movies that we're going to talk about. So what's up? What's new?
Well, I can preview it now, but I'm excited for the new game that I got. I've been wanting it for a while, Cinephile. And I put in my story, but I feel like some of the jokes that I want to put, people are like, I don't get. Like my Instagram crowd is not the crowd I'm like reaching. But I put a picture of it and said that I'm about to be somehow even more annoying. And I thought somebody would reply like with a laughing thing, because not to brag, but I get a lot of like responses on my stories from my friends, and nobody said a single word about this. And so I was like, okay, I got it.
Loud and clear, everyone. Like,
yep. I should have. I'm just scared of Twitter because I don't want to be dunked on. I don't want to be ratioed. So I just stay away from it. That's why I'm like, you can do it. Or if I want to post, or that one tweet that I thought was so funny and I got 3 likes from you, me, and Sebastian.
Oh, the Morpheus?
Yeah, it's Morbius, by the way. Have some goddamn respect.
Morpheus would be a way better movie. Like if it was just...
Yeah, of course. With Yaya, I'd see that in a second.
Yeah.
But...
That's so funny because I feel like there's a clip where I'm talking about how I want to tweet stuff, and you're like, just do it. Who cares?
Yeah, but...
So...
I'm a fucking hypocrite. And I do, and to make it even dumber, I work in social media. Like I do this for a living, but it's
but it's like your own. It's like your own thing.
And I'm sure you feel the same way about like I don't know, computer shit, whatever you do. But when it comes to me, or like, that's why honestly I'm not that good at doing stuff for the podcast, because when it comes to other people, I'll help them in a second and I'll do, I'll go the extra mile. But when it comes to like my own shit, I am not as confident. So I'm like, well, I don't want to put all this time into doing this
100%
if nobody cares. But then it's just psyching myself out.
Yeah. I have that like it's like a pendulum of like wanting to do shit, not wanting to do. It's just back and forth constantly.
Yeah. What are you into? Like, what have you been doing?
Just school, like projects. Like I don't know how they, like, professors do it every single year where they just like, yeah, this is the week that we're just gonna like pile shit on. Like I had an exam and then this programming assignment that is in a language that I haven't used in forever. So it's like just like trying to turn those gears that I haven't used in like a year. But other than that, not really much. I've been trying to make this Sundance video. I don't know. I can't.
What?
So at first I was like, I recorded like half of it, and then I was like, I'm not happy with any of this footage. And so I just need to record it again. But it's like the whole move has just been kind of like discouraging, because I'm not happy with like the background or like where I want everything to be. So, and then at some point I'm just like, is it too late? But I'll just make it whenever.
Yeah, who cares?
So there's that. I have like some exciting stuff that I want to work on, but it's just need to find time. Watching a lot of movies. Other than watching movies or school, I don't have much else, so I can get straight into what I've watched.
Yeah, because you are still beating me.
I am still beating you, but you are slowly coming up. It's getting scarier. The window is slowly closing every single week.
Yeah.
But you go first, actually, because I
I
had to watch Marry Me, so we'll have that.
Oh,
transition.
yeah. Okay. I don't remember where I left off last time. I think it was at this movie called The Privilege, which was, I think it's in German, but it's a Netflix movie, so it's dubbed. It's like awfully dubbed. But I think I still wouldn't have liked it either way. There was like a weird, I don't know. It's like a sci-fi-ish like horror, but then it weirdly has like a threesome in the middle of it. It's very strange.
Whoa.
Not a fan. 2 stars. And then I was rewatching a lot of stuff. So Deadpool 2 was a rewatch. Not even the first one, just the second one. That was The Privilege, Deadpool, Long Shot, and Batman Begins. Those were all on Valentine's Day. Long Shot was the one I was like, I feel like I should watch something romantic, right?
Right.
And so I watched The Long Shot, and I really liked that movie. Then, I think that's when Sebastian came home from work, and I was like, we were both working on our laptops, and I said, just pick something to watch. And so he wanted to watch something that he is familiar with, so he didn't have to pay attention. And so, of course, Batman Begins. Solid movie. There was so much. I told him, like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing when I watched this movie, because I don't remember any of it. None of it.
There's quite a bit. There's like the whole Ra's al Ghul, the Scarecrow.
Yeah, exactly. And I totally, I mean, I remember the main shit, but like most of it, don't remember any fucking thing. Exactly. I think that's what I told him. Head empty when I watched this, because what the fuck is happening? And then he reminded me of a really funny, the part I do remember is, and I'm sure you do too, when Ra's al Ghul like comes to Gotham and he goes to his house and he like sets it on fire, and a log or like a piece of wall falls on Bruce, and Alfred tells him, or he's like trying to lift it, and Alfred has to help him, and he said, what's the point of doing all these push-ups if you can't lift a bloody log? And the way he looks at him is so fucking funny. Like, and it holds on him for a second too, and it
he's like, oh
very
shit.
Good. He's like, and it's still on top of him, and the house is still burning down, and he's like, you have time to roast me right now?
Literally,
loved it.
Before he gets roasted.
Exactly.
Literally.
Oh, nice. And then we bought a bunch of Criterion. Not a bunch. We bought 3, but it feels like a bunch.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I begged Sebastian, please stop picking them out.
Oh no.
Sometimes, you ever think about like the conversations you have with just anybody you're with, and like how it's perceived by the people around you?
100%.
Do you ever think about that?
It's like there's just so much context that is just you don't get.
Exactly. And the way Sebastian and I talk to each other is like, I think we're insane, because he kept picking them and I was like, no, like stop, because they're expensive. And he was like, or he said, I want to get Grand Budapest Hotel. And I said, okay, that's fine. Like, we don't have to get, I just want Titan. But I kept calling it Titan.
Yeah, Titan.
I just want Titan. And it wasn't Criterion, it was Blu-ray. And he was like, well, get a Criterion. And I said, well, I don't want one. They're expensive. We'll just wait. There's a sale like every year. We'll just wait.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, like get one. And we just kept arguing about it. And I was like, no. And I just kept like, a pained, like, no. Because he was like, well, I'm going to get Fantastic Mr. Fox. And I'm going to get another one if you don't pick one out. And it was just like, like I'm a child. It was just like a very weird conversation.
Like that same conversation happens in like the toys section at like Target.
Exactly. It was very strange. But anyways, we watched the Darjeeling Limited because he's never seen it, and it's my favorite. And I think he liked it. I don't know if it's his favorite. I think it's still Grand Budapest Hotel is his favorite, but
that's a hard.
He's
one
also
to
never
beat.
seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I did not know. So we got that one on Criterion too. Oh, and then you know what I should have got though, because we went to Barnes & Noble's before Julia Fox ever opened her mouth and said Uncle Jams. Have you seen that before? You must have seen it, right? So I should have got Uncle Gems, but I didn't. Or Uncle Jams is what people were saying, but I didn't. I think it's a Criterion, right?
Yeah. It's that one. That cover looks amazing. It's like
I should have got that one.
Silver one. That's like honestly like the second most like shocking thing to me, because like from that clip, because she says
let's talk about it, please.
That she was one of the Safdie
she was
brothers'
Josh
muse.
Safdie's muse in Uncut Gems. Yeah.
Was she really his muse?
I don't think so. I don't think she knows what muse means.
Because that means like his like the inspiration, right?
Okay, so that's the conversation that I've been having, because I just think, I mean, maybe I'm the dumb one, which is very possible, but I also thought that I was like, if you call somebody a muse, then isn't that like the inspiration for the entire thing?
Yeah, that's like
for entire Uncut Gems. Because for me,
Uncut Gems,
it was so hard for me not to say it the way that she did. But for me, if anybody's the muse, it's Adam Sandler. It is not her.
Yeah.
What is she talking about? Maybe for that character, but for the way she said it, I was Josh Safdie's muse in Uncut Gems. Not even just the like physical way she said it, but like, I don't think you were, sweetie. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, I was.
Let's
just
break this down. Let's. People are like, saying it and doing impressions, but I want to break down what she actually said, because nobody's talking about this.
Was she actually his muse? Let's talk about that.
Because what did she inspire? Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, because like, didn't they write it and like specifically have Adam Sandler in mind?
Yeah.
Like, I get if they had her specifically in mind for the role.
But wouldn't you say I was the muse for the character in Uncut Gems? Why would you say I was the muse? I was Josh Safdie's muse in Uncut Gems.
Okay. According to...
It doesn't matter. Well, there you go.
No, I want to give the definition.
Okay.
So, a person or personified force who is the source of inspiration, who is the source. I get it if it was like a source of inspiration for a creative artist.
Exactly. Okay.
So I think
there's no way. Yeah, it wasn't. It was, or it was like, who was the team? Celtics?
Yeah.
So it could have been, it was either Adam Sandler, it was the Celtics. I mean, there were so many on the list of people that were the muse for that movie. She's not even on the front page.
She's like tied with The Weeknd.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if how much I should care about this, but it kind of does bother me, because she seems like one of those people that's like, well, yeah, this movie wouldn't have been made without me. And I'm like, I could think of like 4 people on the top of my head that could have replaced you.
That's so funny. Yeah, I just watched that clip and I was like, yeah, that's ridiculous, but let's.
That's the Kanye effect, I feel like.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'll put me around Kanye for a week and I'll say the same goddamn thing.
You know what? I think Citizen Kane. I was the muse for.
I was Channing Tatum's muse for Dog. Okay, and then I just have a weird urge to watch not just, like I said, only the acting categories. I want to watch every single movie that's nominated for an Oscar.
Okay. But
mostly because
let's run it back because I feel like you were like, I'm not gonna watch animated.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I am a hypocrite. Have you not learned this?
It's just funny.
Oh, and one of the things is because I don't know if you noticed, but I've made a big change in my life. I am now a patron on Letterboxd.
No way. I did not see this. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And the reason I wanted to do that, it's a very stupid reason, but I was looking, I was like, oh, they probably have somebody's made a list for the Oscar nominees. And so but I didn't want to keep searching for them. And I'm sure there's a way to bookmark them, but I couldn't find it. I'm stupid. So I didn't realize you can clone a list, but the only way you can do that is with Pro or Patron. And so that's why I'm a patron now, because I wanted to copy a list.
That's like,
but I knew I wanted to do it eventually, but I was like, this is the kick in the ass I needed.
That's funny.
Just because I didn't want to do 2 extra steps to find a list. Anyways, so then I started watching the ones that are available. And that's why, Anthony, because I would look up which ones, like I would go by each movie and look up where they are. And a lot of the animated ones are available. So that's why I was like, well, I think I have like one more left. And it's the one on Netflix, Mitchells and the Machines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the first one I watched was Being the Ricardos. Holy shit, that was boring.
Yeah, I told you.
Unbelievably boring was what I said.
I told you, bro. I just did not care.
But also, the J.K. Simmons nomination is even more confusing to me.
I know.
What did he do exactly?
Yeah, he just had one conversation with Nicole Kidman. Yeah, and it was kind of a shit. He's just don't even worry about it.
And the only thing he did was have to do that, dress in a costume for that period. And offer to drive her home 90% of the time. And
was just shitting. He was just shitting on the other actors too.
Yeah, that wasn't. I don't understand that. Then I lost Raya and what did I say? I watched. Oh my god, Raya and the Last Dragon. I liked it. It was interesting. It was fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen all of the animated. Except for Flea.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that one's on Hulu, I think. But I liked it. I liked the animation when they were turned into stone. That part, that was pretty. It was pretty surprising, and I said that I liked trust issues as a theme. I don't think I would have expected that from a children's movie. So I liked that. It felt very different. I watched Luca. I mean, it was fine.
Yeah, I was probably my least favorite of those three that I watched back to back.
Yeah, I love seeing the origins of a TikTok audio.
Yeah.
Another one. Okay, so I watched a movie called Burrow, and it's an animated short that was nominated last year, not this year, but I just didn't look at the year right. But it was cute. It was fine. Then I watched a documentary short called Lead Me Home. About, you know what, I watched a couple of the documentary shorts and I don't really I don't know, this is gonna sound mean, but a lot of the short subjects I feel like they just picked some at random, because for this one, for example, it was about homelessness and I think Seattle.
Oh, really?
And I think I think it took place in a lot of places, but I remember Seattle being one of them. And it just felt like they were here are homeless people. They didn't really have any sort of story with it, or I don't know. It just didn't.
More informative than anything.
Yeah, and that was the same thing I'm skipping a little bit, but another one I watched yesterday called Audible, about a football team at a school for the deaf. And you think that would be interesting, but it really wasn't. I just felt like it was, somebody put it perfectly where they said, I feel like it was the season finale of a show. Like it kind of felt that way. Like I was like, where's the story here? Like a lot of the documentaries didn't have any sort of story to go with it. It just felt like they were presenting an interesting topic, but that's not enough, I feel like. Then Uncharted, then an animated short called Robin Robin, which I don't think I've seen a lot of the animated shorts, but this is my favorite so far. It's very cute. I think it's on Netflix. And it's about a bird that somehow gets dropped with like a bunch of mice, and so it thinks it's a mouse. It's very cute. And it's a musical, but I liked the music. It was fine. Like it worked with the story. And it's like a 30-minute thing. Then another animated one called The Windshield Wiper. Didn't like it at all, really.
Is it about a windshield wiper?
No, it's about love. I don't know why it's called Windshield Wiper. And it's like I don't know how you say this word, but a vignette. I think I said it right.
Oh,
and I don't know what that means. I think it's just like random clips, and that's what it felt like. I didn't like it. The Long Goodbye. If you're going to watch any, I don't know if you're going to do the shorts, but if you're going to watch any shorts, they would be this one with Riz Ahmed.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
I have it on my watch list. I really want to watch it.
I hate when people say that a movie is a gut punch. I just hate that term, but it really was like, holy shit. It took me a second. I think I just watched a bunch of them in a row. And then after this one, I took a pause because I was like, holy shit. Very good. Loved it. I hope it wins.
What's it about?
Let's see what Letterboxd puts. A short about racism and Islamophobia in the UK. It's like 11 minutes, so it's hard to say anything about it to give it away. But the ending is, I think most of it is very good. But the ending got me.
Okay.
I just watch it. I think you'll like it. Another one, a short doc called The Queen of Basketball, and this is my favorite so far, but that's not saying much. I just love a good sports doc. It felt like a 30 for 30 about a woman that was drafted. I think she was technically drafted to the NBA. And it's a good story. I liked it. It's just about how, women are not treated as well in sports. And if she was a woman, she probably would have been like, the top of the NBA by now. But I digress. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We'll talk about it. And then I didn't know they had Tall Girl 2 on Netflix.
Ah, man.
And so I watched it. And it was really bad, but I had a very good time watching it. It was so stupid that I really liked it. I gave it a half star, but
I feel like you said the same thing about the first one. I haven't seen either of them. Like, it was just stupid, but you really liked it. Like the first Tall Girl.
You have seen the first one, have you not?
I haven't.
Didn't we watch it during a movie night?
Oh, did I?
You're a fucking liar. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I was not gonna watch it, because I was like, maybe we should do another movie night.
Did we do Tall Girl?
I feel like we did. But if you think that one's stupid, just wait.
I honestly don't even like. I guess I blocked that part of my memory. Was it that bad? I don't remember.
No, I mean, understandable, but yeah. The only thing I said in my review is I love that they felt the need to explain the absence of a character. I didn't even slightly remember. I don't know if you've seen that before, where like it's usually in shows where they say, "Oh, where's Harry?" And they're like, "Oh, he's on vacation with his dad." Like just something random to explain. And they did that with a character, and I was like, "Who the fuck are they talking about?" Like they gave so much trust in the fact that I would remember any of these fucking people when I truly didn't.
I don't even remember the entire movie, so.
There you go. Yeah, remember the milk crate? Remember he like put the crate on the ground and stood on it so he could kiss her?
Oh.
That's why he carried the crate around the whole time? So there are moments that are kind of funny, and a spoiler alert, but at the very beginning it's like they do like a stupid recap of everything, and they show him standing on the milk crate again, but it breaks.
Oh my gosh.
And that kind of made me laugh.
All right, well.
That's it.
I finished The Humans. We'll start with that. I just want to say you were completely right. I completely agree. That ending is fantastic. I liked it more than I think a lot of people did. Like, a lot of people were just like, yes, whatever. Like, not much happened, but I enjoyed it. Thought it was a fun time.
It's a little too slow for me. Like, I feel like I wish that it would have picked up a little bit more soon, like a little sooner.
It's weird. I don't feel the same way, which is not something like, I feel like it's the opposite. Like, I always feel like a lot of movies drag on, but I enjoyed it. But on Valentine's Day, which was this past Monday, we forgot to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. So,
oh, please forgive us. If you can find it in your heart.
If you stop listening to the podcast because of that, I'm so sorry.
Fair enough.
Happy Valentine's Day. Kayla and I watched Crazy Rich Asians. It was a nice Valentine's Day. We just like made dinner together and watched this movie. It's a solid one. I feel like there are a lot of good movies to watch on Valentine's Day, but this is up there, I think. So then I've just been slowly watching Canopy, and I figured out, because I was like, I've just been investigating campus, as you do on your last semester of your senior year, and they have a shit ton of movies, like Blu-rays you could just check out, and they have a ton of the Criterion Collection. So have I not told you this? Because
UNT had the same thing, and I said you could just look at your library because nobody would ever be there. I was the only person that would ever. You could like I don't know if it's the same thing, but you could request it online, and you could just go up and they would give it to you.
I'm sure you did tell me, but I was bored, and I was like, let me go check it out, because I've checked online, but they had it like you could go see, and I was just like, all these movies that I've been wanting to watch, and they have it, and I don't need to buy it. But I'm going to start using that more often, because, and I just like kicking myself because I should have done that from the get-go. I could have been the librarian's best friend, and we could have talked about movies. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'll start doing that. But I've been using Canopy, so I watched Suspiria, the 1977 original one. Yeah, and I knew it was going to be wild, just like knowing about like the history of the movie. But I enjoyed it for the most part. There was like one, like the biggest pet peeve of mine in movies is like just painfully obvious dubbing. And like 80% of this movie was that. And so to some point where I thought it was like in a different language and it was dubbed in English, but it was just like, honestly, I didn't look into it. It was just bad dubbing. Anyways, the colors, the lighting in that movie and the colors are fantastic. And despite that painful dubbing, I enjoyed it. It'd be a good movie to watch with like a group of people. Then I watched The Seventh Seal, which is a 1957 movie. It's called one of the greatest of all time. I definitely see why, because the story is really interesting. And the main character, played by Max von Sydow, also plays the Three-Eyed Raven in Game of Thrones, which I didn't know. But he's like, the character is a knight from the Crusades who is like questioning his faith. He's like disillusioned, and
which World War is that? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Please go on. I'm so sorry.
And he plays a game of chess with Death himself.
While,
like navigating his like I said, his lack of faith. And it's a black and white film, and I really enjoy the cinematography, and there's some really amazing shots, and I was like, this is my muse. That's what I thought to myself. This is my muse.
Uncle Jams.
Yeah. Then I watched Kronos, also on Canopy. Guillermo del Toro's directorial debut. And I really enjoyed it because I've seen a lot of my favorite directors like firsts recently, and this one just felt completely different because, with Bottle Rocket or Following
is Bottle Rocket is Wes Anderson, Following is Nolan?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan's. Like those felt amateur, like you could tell that they were debuts, right? And like they were just like trying to figure out what their style was, but from the get-go, like this man knew exactly, like his vision was so clear, and it like felt like he had very little to figure out. And
Ooh, I wonder if there's an interesting case study to be told about that, because Guillermo's famously Mexican. So like versus two white men that can kind of, they don't have to have a solidified, I'm not saying this is what happened, but that is kind of interesting to me, that two white filmmakers kind of had the option to figure out who they wanted to be and make these amateur movies as their debut. But that is kind of the tale of that we're told as young Mexican people, right? That you can't be amateur. You have to be really good, and you have to, you can't, there, you have no chance to question yourself.
That's an essay.
I mean, if you are going to look at other director debuts, then I feel like that's something interesting. Like especially if you get into like women and other marginalized groups, then something to look at. That's a video essay.
It is. I could be very off base, but to me it felt like I obviously did research about this movie, so I knew it was his first. But I feel like if no one told me, I wouldn't have known. And the only like real clue is that one of the characters, who probably my favorite of the movie, is a young Ron Perlman, and he's fantastic in it. So I liked it. It's definitely like, I want to watch that. That's a good Halloween one for sure.
Okay, I think I know I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Very interesting. Then I also watched Stalker, which is a 1979 movie. This was the most taxing but rewarding like viewing experiences I've ever had. So it's like almost 3 hours. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes, I think. And it's my first Andrei Tarkovsky film. My first Tarkovsky film, and there are a lot of long takes with very slow camera movement. So it was like a really tough watch because I'm not used to that. But I think I don't know, like it definitely changed the way I think about film. So it definitely follows into that, like changed my brain list that I have, because I think I loved it. Like, and as I think about it more and watch it more times, I'm sure like I'll love it even more, because it was it's like really tough to like pin down exactly what this movie was about, and there's like it's been so long since it came out, like 50 years. So I feel like general audiences have a pretty good idea, but it's just, there's not a real like consensus. So that's really awesome to see that he was able to do that. And it's a very quiet sci-fi movie. I don't want to give away too much because I want to see, like, I don't know if you'll watch it, but I want to eventually see how you feel about it. But one detail I'll give is like the basic premise is kind of like Annihilation, where it's like this zone of like weird shit that's happening inside of it, and a group of people, in this case it's 3 people who go in. One of them's like their guide. And in the real world, like outside of the zone, there's like a sepia, like yellow filter, and in the zone is like a regular, like it looks like regular color. And this morning I was getting ready, I showered, and I got out of the shower and I went into the room, and the sunlight hit the room exactly, and it had the same filter, and it shocked me so much. I was like, what is happening?
It's happening.
Yeah, so I was like, oh shit, here we go.
It's wild. All those thoughts you had about this movie, I feel like they could be interchangeable with how I feel about Tall Girl too.
How dare you?
Just kidding.
How dare you? Disgraceful.
Cinema. No, that sounds interesting. The Annihilation comparison makes me want to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's based on a book, and then yeah, I mean, there's a game that came out called Stalker, and I want to play it because of it. Very interesting. It just like scratched that right part of my sci-fi brain. Like, I feel like this is what Blade Runner wasn't. Like, it just, we just talked about like that philosophical, like that kind of sci-fi is what I think really entices me, is that like, what is life? Same thing with like Seven Seals. Like, is there a God? Who knows? Can you tell me? I don't know. Then I watched Cop Shop, and I was excited about this movie because I saw the trailer a while ago, like before it came out, and I was really excited because I like Gerard Butler. And
I do too. I miss him.
You know, a majority of this movie was predictable. It's on Peacock, so check it out for sure. But I feel like it was a good mix of, you know, like honoring past like gunslingers or like action movies, but also adding enough to like make it its own, kind of like Ready or Not, you know. So I think it's a good one. I definitely want to revisit it sometime in the future, but I did have some. Oh, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say the name itself made me not want to watch it.
The title
that's
sequence
a terrible title.
Is very cool. It's like I like the font. Then I had some like these two movies I just watched just to rewatch. Spider-Man: Homecoming. I was with Kayla and one of our friends. We just had a bunch of marks. It was fun. And then yesterday I watched 17 again while I was doing some work. And that's
solid movie.
Solid movie. Besides the whole
love
like
that movie.
His daughter like trying to sleep with him even though she doesn't really know. That's all weird. I saw a Letterboxd review was like, "Where's that after credits scene where she realizes that was her dad?"
That is horrifying. I never thought about that. I will say, I watched this. The first time I watched this movie is before I actually, you know, got into like film. And I still think the scene where he's like reading the letter, but then she finds out it's like he like said it. That is a solid scene. That is a really good like acting. Whenever Zac Efron gets a, you know, Lifetime Achievement Award, that should be the highlight. That should be like the headliner.
That should be the only thing they show, honestly.
So good.
Yeah,
like unironically, like, I love that scene.
Oh, and then when they're at the basketball game and then he like shoots the kiss towards him and she's like, "Holy shit."
That's a solid movie.
Hits every time. I was doing work and I had to stop. I was like, "Okay, let me watch this."
Dope.
But then I watched Marry Me.
Yes,
so let's talk about that.
Okay.
The only thing, like, I had a pretty fun time. Like, it's
not terrible.
Their chemistry was okay. Like, totally not believable.
No.
But like, it was okay.
I don't think it wanted to be, though, you know?
Yeah, I think it was very aware.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I'll say is, like, he just forgot about his daughter at that concert.
Yeah.
Which is like, I get there was Sarah Silverman, but he was just like, whatever.
See ya. I also think that's her real daughter, J-Lo.
Oh,
I
really?
I think Sebastian confirmed that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. And she was fine.
Yeah, I also didn't expect like the ending. Well, I mean, I knew it was gonna happen, but I didn't.
Cry?
No, I didn't.
What
expect,
ending? Or what did you not expect?
I did not expect her to have the sign. I was like, oh, okay, that's not bad.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Like, I knew they were gonna get back together. I didn't know that she was gonna have the "Will you marry me" sign.
I also didn't, and I'm glad you said that because I felt stupid. Because they had a whole thing where she looked at a sign, and I was like, "Why? What does that mean?" Do you remember that? Like when she was walking in and she like looked at a poster board of something, and I was like, "What's happening?"
I chalked that up to just like her trying to figure out where they were. Like, I thought there was like a schedule or something. But it's so weird that like Jimmy Fallon had such a presence in this movie.
Yes. Okay. I totally forgot about that. How he's basically the villain, which believable, very believable.
Oh yeah, during that scene, that was like beautifully shot. Like at the interview, like that was the best shot scene in this entire movie for some reason.
That interview scene is better than the one in Joker. And don't you fucking tell me I'm wrong. Don't you ever tell me that. The scene in that Joker movie is the most horrendous thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'd rather see this.
This was more shocking, honestly.
I mean, Jimmy Fallon's Joker is fine, you know?
Well, I just watched him act in the background, and it was just
it's so
just
bad.
So funny.
He's such a bad actor.
But that's what my review is sponsored by Google, Wix, and Jimmy Fallon.
I've heard about the Wix shout out. Yeah.
So weird. But it's okay. I mean, I wasn't expecting much. I didn't get much. So.
Also, I forgot about the Moonfall guy, and every time he was on, the first time he showed up, I said the moon is out of orbit.
Solid movie. I don't have much else to say. So we can get into the family game time.
All right, so we're changing it up a little bit because I have Cinephile.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. They're not paying us, but if they want to. I already bought this, so.
I haven't.
My own money. Okay, so what we're going to do from now on is we're going to just play these games, and that will determine the winner. I mean, there is still, I forgot what it's called here. I think it's 6 degrees. So there is still a sort of family tree game. But we are not playing that today. We're playing a game called Filmography. So I already told you how to play, but I'll just read I guess the object of the game for our audience. So the object of the game is to name more films or one actor than your opponents. So actors with longer filmographies, for example, Samuel L. Jackson, will mean longer rounds, while actors with fewer appearances, for instance, David Bowie, will naturally be shorter rounds. So how this is going to work is I'm going to draw a actor from this deck, and then we're just going to take turns naming movies that they've been in, and we're still going to have the same rules: full title, even subtitles. This also, if you listen to Doug Loves Movies, I feel like this is a game that he plays, but he's very big into full title. I feel like we should do that.
100%. Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll go back and forth. Because I won last time, I would say that I go first, or I get to at least pick, and I'm going to go first. And how it works is we'll go back and forth naming them, and we'll say, for instance, Anthony doesn't know a movie that this person has been in, or he gets it wrong. I will then get the chance to win by naming a correct one, but if I don't, then we'll do a tiebreaker.
Yeah, we'll do a tiebreaker. Same thing with like guessing the age.
All right, well, let me
I need to get a deck too, so I can
in front of you. Yeah, you do. All right. Our actor is, oh God, Holly Hunter.
Bro.
Do you think, okay, so it has a movie that she's been in. Am I able to use that movie?
No.
Okay. The Big Sick.
Incredibles.
Oh no. Incredibles 2.
Fuck. I think
I didn't
that's
even
where
know
it
she
ends.
was in Incredibles.
I think that's where it ends.
Oh, but can I name another movie she's been in though? Are you just gonna you're done?
Yeah, I'll concede.
Okay. And I think there's one I'm kind of sure she's in, but I'm not fully sure, but I think it'd be very funny because you should know this movie.
I can picture her face and like place her in different movies, but I just don't know.
Okay, I might lose or we might do a tie, but I think she is in Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. Oh,
yeah.
She is, right?
She's the judge.
What should you watch? You know what? I'm not going to be nice this time. You're going to watch Tall Girl 2.
Okay. Solid first time playing Cinephile. Not sponsored. I can't emphasize it enough.
And I can't emphasize enough how much we do want to be sponsored.
Yeah. So please don't make me cry. All right. Let's hit the break. When we get back, Uncharted and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Street smart Nathan Drake is recruited by seasoned treasure hunter Victor Sully Sullivan to recover a fortune amassed by Ferdinand Magellan and lost 500 years ago by the House of Moncada in Uncharted. Directed by Ruben Fleischer, written by Rafe Judkins, Art Markham, and Matt Holloway, starring Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, and Antonio Banderas.
Critics gave it a 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes, and on Letterboxd, it has an average of a 3 stars. It got 3 stars.
I think 3 stars is... I mean, I don't think it was terrible. I thought it was fine, but no, I also don't know anything about the games, so...
Yeah, I don't know if... I also haven't seen, like, are people upset about that? Because I know...
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. I gave it 2 stars. It's like... At its best, it's like trying too hard to be National Treasure. And at its worst, it's just like... Whatever. Didn't care for it.
I will say, so... when I went to go see it, I saw with Sebastian, of course, and I told him, like, is it going to be like when you're talking about video game movies, because a lot of them, like, the whole thing about them is that they're all bad, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, like, what's a good, like, if we have a spectrum of, like, the ones that are out now, what's a good one? And do you want to guess what he said? It popped into his mind, like, instantly.
Mortal Kombat.
No, Sonic.
Okay. That was my first guess, but I went.
I just couldn't stop laughing, and he was like, "Why?" I said, "Because that was so quick, and I forgot that even existed." But Sonic, and then to me, at the very end, the worst video game movie I've ever seen. I don't know if you want to guess or if you want me to just say.
Just go for it.
Assassin's Creed. I hated that movie.
We started watching that. Kayla and I started watching that recently because she's like...
She likes it, right?
Yeah. But we didn't finish it. But yeah, okay, that's funny.
And he said it would be at the middle, and I think it is kind of, to me it was the same as Sonic. Like, it wasn't better, it wasn't worse. I think it was fine. You know, it was a decent movie.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, I like Assassin's Creed, like the franchise, so I value that movie more because of that.
More than Sonic?
Oh, no. Like, Sonic, I've played. No. More than this movie, because I'm more tied to the Assassin's Creed franchise than Uncharted, because I know little to nothing about it.
I know nothing, but the annoying thing was I could tell when they were trying to give, like, Easter eggs. Yeah. It was so obvious. And
like,
I don't like
the voice actor, Nolan North.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I knew he was somebody, because I was like, why are we lingering?
It was so obvious.
Yeah.
Why is this random dude wishing them luck on
who
a
cares?
journey? Just imagine that, like, seeing someone and just wishing them luck on their journey. Like, what?
Yeah, just walking. And he was the only person that knew, or, like, saw them walking out of the sea fully clothed. Nobody else was like, what's going on? But okay. So my notes, I wrote my notes. I always write them on the paper from the movie theater, but it also has our order.
Okay,
because they didn't take it.
They didn't take it?
Well, no. Sorry.
They
didn't take the paper. They took our order, but they didn't take the paper.
Sounded like they didn't take your order.
No, why would I just sit there and not get anything?
I don't know. But I wanted to say I went to the Cinemark, and I was very surprised because I've been wanting to get a tin. I didn't get the Uncharted tin. But I got the upcoming Batman movie tin. And that tin is awesome.
Do you have it?
Not on me. I can go get it real quick.
Whoa. Oh, it's like an actual, like, tin?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I guess Cinemark. Because, like, the one thing about College Station that really sucks, I mean a lot, but is that their movie theaters don't have, like, cool stuff. You know, like...
Yeah.
I really wanted to get one for Dune, for Spider-Man No Way Home. They just didn't have anything. But I was like, I got to get this.
That is very cool.
So I'm ready. And this one's not as cool. But they also had a souvenir cup. It was kind of an impulse buy. I mean, both of them were. But it's kind of gross.
That honestly, is kind of gross, but I like it.
It's like a tumbler.
I like it.
You can't really see, but that's the Batmobile. And it's like...
I need to go to Cinemark.
It's like 3D. So like you can like it's like textured. And
That's so funny to me that you were just walking around with that.
I was on my way to see Uncharted.
The Batman.
And it has like Batman on it. So
interesting.
Yeah, let's go over your notes because I didn't take any because I just whatever happened.
The first one is mostly what's a question? What video game do you want to turn into a movie? You play more video games than I do. Like my answer is probably Crash Bandicoot because that's the only game I play. But yeah,
I've never played it, but it would just be cool to see because I feel like it would be like if they did it right, like the visuals would be amazing. It would be God of War because it's like all of the gods and stuff. I would like to see Halo, but I know for a fact they would not get it. Like I'm scared for that TV show.
I was gonna say, isn't there a show?
Yeah, but doesn't.
For a second, I thought Moonfall was gonna be Halo.
Really?
Do you remember the way that the like?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They lived. I was like, is this fucking Halo? Because that'd be kind of cool, but no. Oh, the next one is that I would. So I thought how this was gonna go was that Mark Wahlberg was gonna be his brother, and I was gonna be very pissed. I'm sure the age is not correct. Like he's a lot older, but I wrote that down. I'll be pissed if Mark Wahlberg is his brother. It's not. Spoiler. And then I instantly wrote down. I already know the trailer gave us way too much information because there's a couple things I guessed from the trailer, but the main one is. Do you remember that scene? Where he comes in, it's like after the credits, and he comes in, he has a mustache. Because Sebastian, when we watched the trailer, he was like, I bet Mark Wahlberg's the bad guy. And this was when we only had seen the trailer. And then when the trailer ended, and after that scene, because that scene is in the trailer, where he's like, just wait for puberty, kid. And I told Sebastian, no, I know he's not the bad guy, because I know that is an after credit scene.
That's so weird. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Where an after credit scene is in the trailer,
and it's to me at least it was very obvious, and only because of the mustache shit. And there was a bad guy that he was talking to that's not in any of the other like scenes, so I knew that was some sort of like after credits.
That's so
which is
wild.
very annoying because I knew from the very beginning that he was not. They were gonna end up like together, as partners
together.
So that, I also agree. Very stupid. They showed so much, like the ship stuff, stupid anyways, but that would have been cool to see like them lifting the ships in the movie, not in the fucking trailer. I've seen that so many goddamn times.
Yeah.
And then I said Tom Holland should play somebody that works in an office next or something else, because like who wants to run this much? This was the scene where I think when they're chasing after that girl, because that's when she first stole the cross from them. And I was like, isn't he tired? Like, stop. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's young and nimble, but like, that doesn't seem fun.
Yeah.
And then in the fun facts, I read that he filmed this and then he went directly into Spider-Man. Take a fucking break, dude. And then I'm just ruining all the fun facts. Another fun fact is that he actually wanted to make a young James Bond movie, but they didn't want to make that with him. So he did this. And I was like, dude, do something else. Oh, and then the best line, and I wish I had it correctly. I don't think I do. But whenever Antonio Banderas, right before he kills his dad, and he sits down with him on the bench and he says, you come to find me in the one place I find peace. And I was like, that's me when Randy like refuses to leave my side when I'm trying to just watch a movie.
Padre. That was funny.
I told Sebastian, can you please teach me how to say that in Spanish? Please. Oh, and then I wrote another prediction. His brother's not dead, but I feel like that was pretty obvious. And then the moment where like that girl keeps betraying him, I feel like the lesson here is only trust white men, and I don't like that lesson. Like the girls were the only people that were like shifty throughout the whole thing. Like Mark Wahlberg kind of, but not really if you think about it. He didn't really betray him. He just like kept leaving him. But like,
yeah, that's true.
So didn't love that. I legit thought there was a part when he opened the map, Antonio Banderas, I sincerely thought he said Metamucil. I don't know what he said. I think it was in Spanish, but I heard Metamucil, which is like a fiber supplement. I don't know if you know that, but I laughed so loud for no reason because everybody else is not stupid.
They heard what he said.
Yeah, they heard exactly what he said. And I heard Metamucil.
Hiring Antonio Banderas to say Metamucil.
I will say, though, and then he was killed shortly after. That genuinely shook me. I did gasp because I was not expecting that. So, I mean, if there's one thing that they didn't leave in the trailers, I guess that would be it. But, like, I don't know.
It's so funny because, like, everyone was like, yeah. Like, all of his crew were like, yeah.
Yeah, they just stood there like, okay. I also genuinely, tell me if I'm stupid. I don't understand how the compass thing worked. I feel like you could have done that. Like, do you remember when he was like the crosses or compasses, and he like put them in the map, and he like spun them around and it touched a certain spot. But you could have done that on the other part too. So how would you? Like, I just don't understand the compass part. Do you remember that? Am I just stupid?
I remember that. I don't really know that. Yeah, I guess that I was thinking that too. But Kayla was like, how would the brother know? Like, he didn't have the keys.
But they all knew from like research, not from having the keys themselves.
I guess, but
I don't know. This movie makes no goddamn sense. Them lifting the boats out. Oh, I think I already said it. It would have been cool if I didn't already know that was going to happen.
Oh, about that. Kayla is taking like a nautical archaeology or
as one does
course. Yeah. And so like, it's funny to watch movies where they just like completely disregard the like preservation of like completely historical. So she's just like, why would you know?
And would it not just fall apart?
Yeah. She was saying
it's
like
so fucking old.
It's old, and they had like there was just like a hole where the sun would just like completely deteriorated that entire thing.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Why would you
watching
not
that
take
with
the
her.
gold at that point? She's like, this is not historically accurate.
I was like, why are you?
Mark
not
Wahlberg should have known better.
Yeah.
But that leads to my next question. Why does she want the other boat? Because you know how like they're getting both of the boats, and then Mark Wahlberg hijacks that helicopter. Then just leave. You have one boat. Why do you need the other boat? And then she lost both.
Greedy. She's greedy. And
I guess.
She died.
And then the last thing is, I guessed right about that being an after credit scene. I did. Okay. And then another genuine laugh. I had a couple of genuine laughs, and like, especially with the whole cat. And when the cat showed up, when he meowed, that was the best part of the movie. That was my favorite joke in this movie.
Oh, where he
when
takes
he
him
brought
everywhere.
The fucking cat. Yeah. When he showed it and it meowed, perfect. I loved it.
When they showed the first one's like the first after credit scene is his brother is alive.
Oh, is there two? Yeah.
And then the second one is with the cat and everything. We started leaving, and then as we were leaving, they played the second one, and we're like, oh shit, there's still more somehow. And the way they cut it, it was like they're looking at someone outside of that little villa, and they're like, and I was like, how wild would it be if that was Hitler that they're looking at? Because like, I feel like they just throw Hitler into movies now and shit, into after credit scenes. Like there's that.
They've done it once.
Okay, there's 2 times I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay.
One is in The King's Man.
Mm-hmm.
A second is in like I think it's a Hulu show with Al Pacino and
oh no, it's on Prime. Mom watches it.
Yeah, Prime.
With Logan Lerman.
Yeah, Logan Lerman. Where I guess spoiler for that show, there's like a Hitler after credit scene kind of.
Nice.
I thought it'd be so funny if they did that.
Do you know who? Oh, you don't know anything about the show or the game, right?
No, and it doesn't make sense because it's like modern day and Hitler's
No,
dead.
I know it's not Hitler. I'm saying, do you know who it was?
Oh no, I don't.
It was Sonic.
It was Knuckles.
There's a crossover.
Like, why do you think I need your power?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This movie was fine. I had a good time. Like, I wasn't bored. I guess that's the most you can ask for a movie.
Yeah. Forgettable. Like, I probably won't
remember.
Oh,
yeah. I already don't really know what happened in it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really say anything, because I honestly don't remember. Like, I'll lump it in with, like, Tomb Raider. There was a joke I told Kayla in it, because, like, they were at the auction. I said, how funny would it be if, like, the next one was, like, the Montana, and then we just saw Michael Fassbender in the background.
Oh, is that an Assassin's Creed joke?
Well, because it's like the apple, and then it's like the apple of Eden in the movie, and the way they say apple in Spanish with the lisp, Montana.
Okay.
We can move on. I don't like that I had to explain that joke.
Or what if I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But okay, so I have like a couple of fun facts, but then we can like just, forget about this movie ever. All right. A couple fun facts. In the early stages of production, Mark Wahlberg, Robert De Niro, and Joe Pesci were all slated to be in the movie, with David O. Russell directing the film. What a weird movie that would have been.
Wow.
Since then, all three and the director dropped out of the project. Wahlberg would later be cast as Sully. This film is the first feature production of Sony PlayStation Productions.
I like their little intro thing.
Bryan Cranston, Jake Gyllenhaal, Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth, Matthew McConaughey, and Woody Harrelson were all considered for Sully before the role went to Mark Wahlberg. And I think Woody Harrelson would have been so much funner.
He would have been a lot of fun. I'm trying to think, like, Bryan Cranston? Like, I kind of see that.
He's too old.
Yeah, I mean...
I think so. I mean, I'm sure he's the same age as Woody Harrelson, but Woody Harrelson doesn't look that old.
You definitely would not have confused him as his brother.
No. 100% no. I also just don't really like Mark Wahlberg. The film was originally scheduled for release on June 10th, 2016. On August 5th, 2015, Sony Pictures Entertainment pushed the film's release date to June 30th, 2017. Then it got pushed once more to December 18th, 2020, and again, lastly, to July 16th, 2021. Well, that wasn't lastly because it didn't come out then. All due to halted production.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's even worse than... this. What other movie did we talk about that was like pushed 3 years?
Death on the Nile?
Yeah.
Oh, and also that plane scene where they're falling out, they would have 100% died.
Yeah.
Especially when they hit the water and break their necks. Like, come on. That just bothered me so much.
They were just laying down like, yep.
And last thing for me, just taking a nap. Last thing for me was that I did appreciate that the action scenes, that I could actually fucking see them. Because I feel like lately we've seen a lot of action sequences where the camera's so shaky that you can't see a goddamn thing. Oh, speaking of trailers. Okay, are you done with this movie? Because I need to
I've been done with this movie. Like, I honestly haven't had much to say, so.
So did you see the trailer to Ambulance?
Yeah. Or I've seen it. I don't think I saw it for this one.
Oh, we saw it for this one. You can't see a goddamn thing in that trailer. It's so fucking close up. There's one shot that I have no idea what the fuck is happening because it's just Yaya's face. It's just this. And after the trailer ended, I said, I think somebody needs to put Michael Bay into jail because what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That movie looks terrible.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it because.
Oh yeah, of course we're gonna watch it. But those angles, that zoom in, holy shit.
Yeah, I just seen that trailer so much that I feel like I have a somewhat of an understanding. But it is a lot of...
I only seen it once.
Like, they're legitimately in the ambulance with them, just like...
But it's like, it's so bad. Next time you watch it, just pay attention to... There's one specific scene I'm talking about, or sequence, that is just his... Like, it's like just right here. That's it.
Oh, I don't know if this is real, but I think I saw on Twitter like a headline saying Jake Gyllenhaal just like stole the camera from Michael Bay and just like recorded some shit by himself.
That's so funny.
So maybe it's just him.
Jake Gyllenhaal is a menace and he needs to be stopped.
Still playing the character from Nightcrawler. He just took the camera.
Yeah. He's like, I could do it.
Yeah.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
After nearly 50 years of hiding, Leatherface returns to terrorize a group of idealistic young friends who accidentally disrupt his carefully shielded world in a remote Texas town in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Directed by David Blue Garcia, written by Chris Thomas Devlin, story by Fede Alvarez and Rodo Sayaguez. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Starring Sarah Yarkin, Elsie Fisher, and Mark Berman.
Critics gave it a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb, a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Too high.
And on Letterboxd, it has a 2.2 star rating. Before we get into it, I'm going to say, I cannot believe how close the plot of this movie is to John Wick. Hear me out.
Okay, is that true?
100% true. Listen.
Okay.
Brutally murdered old lady / dog.
Old lady, arguably same as a dog.
No. I'm saying, okay, in John Wick's dog gets murdered by a group of people.
Okay.
In this movie, essentially, his mom gets murdered by a group of people, right?
She is a little dramatic and dies. That's what happens.
Okay. Anyways, it spawns a revenge plot. John Wick uses a sledgehammer to emotionally destroy this concrete that he's poured over his past life. In this movie, Leatherface uses a sledgehammer to break down a wall to get his sledgehammer, or to get his chainsaw.
To get another sledgehammer.
He uses it to get a chainsaw, and then he starts murdering everyone that did him dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he does murder the people that killed his dog / mom.
Right.
So
what part of John Wick does he cut off the dog's face and wear it? Is my question.
That's the director's cut.
Got it. All right.
I'm
legitimately thought that you were going to compare him hammering the cement to him cutting off his mom's face and wearing it.
No. I mean,
but I forgot
that
about
is part of it. I mean, part of it is him getting it back into the game that he left, he's like, oh shit, I got to get into this again. This life I left behind. Honestly, John Wick was out for maybe a decade. He was out for 50 years. So he's even more out of practice. He's still got it. So I got to say, the resemblances are striking.
If you lay it out like that, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then I was about to ask, and it just left my brain. Oh, so that's the thing I feel like a lot of people don't like about this movie. And my question, I guess, is, so are we just canceling out every single sequel after this? Because there was other Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. It wasn't just this and the original one. So are we just saying that those are just not correct? They don't exist?
I've never seen any of them. This is the first one I've ever seen. So
I think I've seen one. No, two-ish. There was one with, I think, where what, Trey Songz? Do you know who that is? He was in it, I think.
Do I know who that is? Put some respect on my name.
He was in it, and they played one of his songs.
Did he die listening to it?
I think so, but he wasn't Trey Songz in it. He was just some guy, and he's like, anybody hear this? Not that. He didn't do that.
Then he died.
That's basically what happened. I think so. I feel like that. You need to watch this movie, because I feel like I made it up in my brain.
That's the funniest. He's not Trey Songz.
Trey Songz is a variant of him in his universe.
He's not Trey Songz. Oh my god.
But another thing that happened in that movie is there's a girl that plays, she's the main girl, she's the final girl, and she is supposed to be Leatherface's cousin or something.
Oh, I read about this. It's Alexandre
Daddario. Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a scene that I will never forget for the rest of my life, where the whole thing is, I think the town, I don't know, she goes against the town and is with Leatherface. She's I'm on your side, dude. And she throws, from what my recollection, she throws the chainsaw at him and she says, "Get him, cuz." I'm not even kidding. I think that happens in the movie, and I want to try to find the scene.
No, yeah, I kept on reading that like everywhere on Twitter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
And if this movie means that didn't happen, then I'm okay with it. Because that was truly, and I think I saw this in theaters, this movie I'm talking about. So truly one of the worst things I've ever seen on screen was somebody calling Leatherface cuz.
What's up, cuz?
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, this movie had its own like live stream massacre.
Yeah.
Instagram
and then
live.
Saying, if you cancel me, or we're going to cancel you if you do anything. I'm sure he's wearing somebody's face, so I'm sure he cares if he's going to get canceled on.
And then all the comments are like, so fake, or who ordered this clown?
Who ordered this clown?
Okay.
Yeah, it reminded me of Spree. Made me appreciate that movie more.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you have a lot of notes, right?
I do.
I have some.
So Dante, the person who wants to gentrify this place, is in the movie Slight, which I talked about a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
Which I wasn't like. He's like the main character. I don't have really many notes about like the beginning. Like the whole premise is like, okay, I don't really care.
My note was like, am I supposed to know what they're doing in that town? Or like, am I just not paying attention enough, or is it just bad writing? Because I truly didn't understand what they were doing.
Yeah,
but
it took a
I figured
while.
it out, but
yeah, it did take a while.
Okay.
Maybe we're just dumb. But my first note is when we see Sally, first of all, is that the same Sally as the other one? As like the
no. So one of the that's one of the things that I found online. So the first Texas Chainsaw Texas Chainsaw movie.
Uncle Joms. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
She beat me to it. I would have, if I was famous enough and I had it, I would have said something fucking stupid. The first Texas Chainsaw movie to feature the original's main character, Sally. However, in this film, she's played by Olwen Foray. As the original actor, Marilyn Burns tragically passed away on August 5th, 2014.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. And I was thinking, she didn't look like the original actress, but there you go. That's why. I didn't know that she died.
That's interesting. But she's like cutting into a pig for some reason, and it made me think of The Power of the Dog because she wasn't wearing any gloves at all.
Yes, and she like tried to dry her hands, and she touched her phone. And I was like, oh, not dry. Not even close, dude.
Not even clean.
No.
But I want a Spider-Man No Way Home movie with
where's this going?
Sally Hardesty, Laurie Strode, and Sidney Prescott. That would be amazing.
Ooh. That would be amazing.
You know, just all the final girls.
I mean, well, I don't think Sally will be available for that. So
I forgot about that. But with the Spider-Man No Way Home, like
I guess like a different timeline.
Yeah, it would be, you know, like they love CGIing people now, so it would be.
Ooh, the younger one?
No.
That's okay. I was like, that's kind of weird.
All of the deaths were insane. So the first one we see when his mom dies is...
Well, first of all...
Okay, go.
Okay, so the mom dying. Before that, why... I don't understand this whole, like... Somebody has to go with her. Like, one of us have to go with her. Why? What are you going to do?
I guess because they felt responsible. I mean, because they kind of were. But...
How, though? I don't get that either. How are they responsible? How are they supposed to know she was going to have a heart attack if they were like, get out of your house?
Well, I mean, they kicked her out, but I
get that, but like they didn't know that she was going to have a fucking heart attack. I don't buy this whole yeah, they were assholes. But
100%.
Murderers? No.
Okay, I guess.
I understand the anger towards them, and I'm not trying to say Leatherface was like wrong. I'm kidding.
They have some responsibility for sure, though. Because the way they handled it.
They're not murderers. They're not responsible for her death. I think that's a little dramatic.
Okay, maybe.
I just didn't understand that, but no, but you're not. Sebastian agrees with you, I think, because we were having this like conversation where I was like, that is not their fault.
I think it is because they escalated it to a point. I mean, like she knew that she was elderly. I mean, she had her I was gonna say gas tank with oxygen tank with her.
Okay, like, but they did. How were they gonna know that she was going to die that day, that moment? It's not their fault. It is their fault for being assholes, but they hold responsibility for certain parts of it, but not for her death, I think.
Okay. Let's just agree to disagree. We could go on.
Alrighty.
But the first death that we see, or the second death, I guess, after the mom dies, is one of the cops in the back. Because Leatherface, like, breaks his arm and stabs him with his own bone, which has got to be one of the coolest ways to die. I mean, extremely painful, sure, but you got to think like as you're getting stabbed in the gullet with your own forearm. This is kind of cool. I mean,
this is kind of cool. Yeah, I think they spent all their brain power on figuring out how they want to kill people, not on the story itself, which
100%.
Yeah.
And I watched it kind of by myself.
Were you scared?
I wasn't scared, but I was just like, damn, these are brutal. These deaths are brutal. Like, it just made me think of how, like, just gross humans can be towards others.
Yeah.
And I was like, please don't break in here, bro. Because Kayla she fell asleep, and I was just watching this dude cut his mom's face off. That was brutal.
Yeah.
Seeing
very
that,
brutal.
and just like.
Also, that girl in the car. I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't act differently, but like the fact that she was only acting like the car had. She acted like the car had one side to it. Like she didn't look behind her at all. And then I don't know. I feel like I would have just ran away. Like I don't want to die in that car. I would rather just like run.
Yeah, she just sat there, kind of. I mean.
Yeah.
She didn't do much. She whispered into a radio and then died. I definitely would have ran.
And then we learn that Elsie's character, the next note I have is having a school shooter survivor as a subplot is wild to me. I just don't get that. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know how you feel about it, but I was like, and
it did feel a little weird.
It just felt such a random thing to add to her character, especially because it wasn't really, like, it had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, it was just like only used as a device to show that she was, one, scared of guns, obviously, and that like she was gonna have to use one to do something. And then like there was that whole part in the bus where she was like laying on the ground, like that whole thing, and she was like, it was like a flashback. But would you, if you were in that scenario, I feel like you wouldn't even be, you'd be just trying to get out of there. But
also, my argument to that, to just the whole inclusion of her being a survivor of a school shooting, is that what's happening in front of her from like Leatherface killing all these people is already traumatic enough. I feel like you don't have to add on that she already has trauma.
That's true.
It just felt so strange to be like, that's why she keeps, that's why she didn't get up when this guy was being massacred in front of her. Not the fact that he was just being chopped up by a chainsaw in front of her. So that's why I didn't understand it. I mean, I'm all for just, these characters being fully formed and having lives beforehand. And I'm sure because school shootings happen all the time, that it's likely. But like, it just felt so strange to add on to a movie where there's, like you said, there's a man stabbing people with their own bones. I feel like we have enough to worry about.
We got enough shit going on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I said already annoyed by the curly haired one. I did not like that actress at all. The way she acted scared was so strange to me. Like her face was like the whole time.
She just wasn't speaking, like in the bus specifically.
Yeah. I don't know, I just didn't really like that actress. My
My next note. I mean, Dante died, right?
Yeah.
That was a pretty brutal death. I mean, all of them were. Like, it was like his jaw, the whole thing. Then Richter, the like town guy. My next note is the inward knee of Richter.
Inward knee.
Because that is like
that's a band name.
The inward knee
of Richter. Yeah.
That is like insane to just think about, like his knee bent the opposite way.
I would have been like, okay, just kill me.
And then you get glass in your throat.
Yeah. Oh, but before that, I forgot I had this note, and the reason, like, one of the main reasons I didn't like that the main actress, I don't remember any of these people's names, but
Melody.
Do you remember when she found the deed? Which I don't understand. When she found the deed of the house and she like had such a visceral reaction, like she was going to throw up. But then when she saw Dante being like dragged by Leatherface, she had zero reaction. She just like looked out of breath. And so it was like, weird choice. But I'm also confused about let's talk about the logistics of the deed. Because I'm confused. Just because you have a house deed doesn't mean you own that house, right? Can't somebody be issued a new deed? And what really matters is what the bank has. Like, what does it prove that she had a house deed? You know?
I'm pretty sure that she owns it. I don't think you can have it if you don't own it.
But I don't know how house deeds work. I'm saying, like, if the bank repossessed it, do they have to take the deed? Or like if somebody bought it, do you have to take the deed? So the fact that she has it means that nobody took it from her?
Yeah. Or she at least got it back.
That's what my question was, because I don't know how houses work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the deed is like the final word. I think.
But again, the way that she acted seeing this deed, she was like, and then when Dante was dead, she was like, "Oh shit!
Oh no!
I gotta go upstairs." Like it just felt so strange, her acting.
Yeah. She was in the house for a long time, but when Melody. But after Dante died and like left, and then Richter died and she got the keys and was running out, and Leatherface like threw that sledgehammer at her and she just launched. That was hilarious, bro. I could not stop laughing.
How does she not die?
That is like that's just hilarious. And I just being on set must have been so fun, because that's just the right amount of ridiculousness to have.
There's a couple more things too. I in my notes I'm not at the millennials thing yet, where he goes into the van or the bus. First of all, the bus was kind of cool. Second, I just feel like nobody was reacting enough in any scene.
Oh yeah.
Because like when he got on the bus, everybody just took out their phones. And I knew it was supposed to be a commentary on millennials and how they like photograph everything, and even the way they were acting when they got to the town, just like taking pictures and shit. That's not how people are. And I'm really tired of this whole trope of like, you're gonna get canceled, bro. Like nobody fucking does that.
Yeah, and like situations like that.
Yeah. Especially millennials. And you have the audacity to have one of the main characters being a school shooting survivor. And then you, at the same breath, you have a group of people that when a guy that's obviously wearing some sort of weird costume, that you don't freak out. You know, like anytime anybody just walks into the movie theater, I have a tiny little panic attack. That's just the experience of millennials, you know? So if you're trying to be true to what happens with older people or with people of our generation and even younger and how they react to somebody threatening, it's not like self-righteous. You're gonna get killed. Like it is a freak out, because that happens all the time. People that wear costumes and go into contained places are not fun and inviting and like something to make fun of. They're fucking scary.
Yeah, even the like clown shit that happened in like 2016.
Yeah, and I feel like the generation that would take seriously somebody wielding a weapon, whether it's real or not, is the generation that they're trying to make fun of. And so that just didn't feel realistic to me. Like I was trying to think of like me and a group of people I know, if somebody got onto a bus that we didn't know and looked like that, then some of us would at least take pause. We wouldn't bring out our phones and be like, don't try anything, dude. Like, what?
I don't know how they didn't overpower him. There was like at least 30 people on that bus, it felt like.
Yes, just pile on, you fucking idiots. Also, the fact that they got into that restroom and closed the door, assholes. Open the, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Create a path
Why
out.
would you just, exactly.
Then the bank lady gets cut in half. That was like, ooh,
Yikes.
Didn't like that. I don't have another note until like pretty much the end.
Same, and I feel like we have the same note. But yeah, and then they have this whole like, they run into Sally and she's like, I'm gonna kill him, and then she doesn't. What was the whole point of having her come back if she wasn't even gonna do what she was supposed to? That would have been cool if she did kill him.
Right.
Why not have that happen?
Or at least like seriously damage him.
Yeah.
Like cut off
he
a
put
arm
an
or
entire exactly. She put an entire chainsaw in her fucking like chest.
Lifted her up, turned it on. So then she was just like
That was such a degrading scene.
How does she not?
I really hated that.
How was she alive after that?
There's no way she was alive. And another thing, like basically she was dead, and then the older sister was stuck in the car or something, and then Elsie Fisher was basically like the final girl where she had to like figure out how to kill this guy. And there's a scene where he tackles her, and it was so fucking funny. Like Sebastian was like, "Oh, tackle a 16-year-old
into some water." Like, why is there a pool in this place?
I don't know. And then I don't know. And then like the girl finally got out of the car and she thought she killed Leatherface because which obviously you didn't fucking kill him. You hit him in the head.
Oh, even before that, there's when Elsie's like crawling out trying to get the shotgun or the chainsaw or something, and he like kicks it, and then that sequence is like slow-mo. I was like, this is terrible. Like, why is it got to be slow-mo? And then she essentially just hits his chin with the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Like,
and then he goes into the water when like if his head is not smashed in the way he smashed in, like, I forgot who it was.
Richter.
Oh, the Richter guy. Then he's not dead.
That was
like, what the fuck have you learned from watching these movies?
Absolutely nothing.
I did like the ending though, where they put the car in autopilot, and I was like, and then they fucking opened the sunroof, and I was like, stupid idea, he's still alive. 100%. And they didn't instantly. How do you not get in the car and just go? How do you not? I do that when I go to Target at night. Like, right? I do not do that after you thought you killed a murderer.
Let's roll down all the windows, turn on autopilot, have no control, and let's just go. She gets yanked out.
No, we're not going to go on gas. We're just going on vibes. And then the way she gets yanked out and her head chopped off, that was kind of shocking to me. So I did like that. And what is your note? Because like I said, I think we have the same note.
I don't have.
Oh.
My next note is just about like this movie being pitched to Netflix, but.
Oh, okay. Well, my note was that so he kills the girl, the sister, and then Elsie Fisher just like still goes in autopilot and like going like 20 miles per hour. Maybe not even that.
She's like, no.
And still, no. And he could probably catch up to her, but instead he does this little dancey dance, and he just like, do you remember that?
Yeah, he like taunts her.
But the way he does it is so fucking funny. He like holds the head up and then
like throws his chainsaw for some reason.
Why? That was so fucking weird. Like he was doing like, like an interpretive dance with like, they do with batons or something, with a chainsaw. What a weird thing to add to the movie. How do you see that and you're like, yeah, this is the perfect way to end my horror film, with a dance?
I would have been less shocked if he pulled out like 3 more chainsaws and just started juggling them.
Yeah, exactly. At this point. But yes, please, your note about the pitch.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I just, like, it makes me sad, like, thinking about this, but, like, if, like, pitching this movie to Netflix, like, we're going to reboot Texas Chainsaw Massacre. These are all the things we're going to hit, like, we're going to have absolutely brutal deaths. We're going to talk about, some like real issues, school shootings, gentrification, killing old ladies. Like, we're going to talk about real shit. And Netflix thinking, like, all right, let's talk about it. Like, we'll get back to you. Then they talk to their team. They're like, this is going to be a shitty-ass movie. This is going to be the worst movie. But a lot of people are going to talk about it, so it's going to be good for the platform. So let's fund this shitty-ass movie because people are going to talk about it. Like, that's how I imagined it went.
I mean, why do you think they gave Addison Rae an overall deal? They're not interested in the content the quality of the content that they're making,
It's just so... Oh, I hate that.
I mean, they read that script and saw gentrifuckers and was like, oh, yeah. Yeah. This is the movie we want to make.
That's just a sad state of the union right there.
I only have one fun fact. So on August 24th, 2020, initial directors and brothers Ryan and Andy Tohill split from the project during the film's first week of production in Bulgaria. Notably similar to Texas. The duo was replaced with David Blue Garcia, who scrapped and reshot the previous footage. Okay, that makes sense. This movie does seem very scrambled.
Yeah, I mean the ending too. Like, I know this isn't like anything. Like, this isn't a criticism. This is just like, it did feel super rushed. Like,
oh yeah,
her dying, like the sister dying, feels like it happened in like that was a TikTok.
TikTok. Oh man, but I liked that scene though.
All right, I don't have anything else.
The only thing I thought of right now is Nope. Did you see the trailer?
I have.
We can have a little, I guess, after credit chat about it, because if this is about aliens, I don't know if I can handle it.
Yeah, I think
aliens are the only thing I don't fuck with.
Yeah, it'll hit very close to home, and knowing Jordan Peele, it's gonna be like, you're gonna think about this movie for years. So
this is the first time I've seen a trailer to a scary movie where I'm like, fuck, I think I'm gonna be actually scared. I mean, maybe not, but I don't know, anything with aliens, even if it's like a shitty movie, I get really nervous.
No, yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it, that it's that scene or that part where Keke Palmer gets like just yoinked.
Yeah.
That's straight from a nightmare.
I just really like all the theories people are coming out with. Part of me now doesn't want to listen to them because I'm scared they're going to be too close to what's happening. But I'm really excited. Just even off of the small things that we know, I think it'll be a really good movie.
100%.
And I think it'll actually scare me. Because, I mean, I like Get Out and Us, don't get me wrong, but those they didn't scare me. They were really good, but they didn't really, get to me. And I feel like maybe this is the one.
Yeah, aliens. Wow. Yeah, one of the theories that I saw, I didn't really look into it a whole lot, but honestly, I haven't seen the trailer, fully. I've seen, bits and pieces of it, because I'll probably watch it fully, but one of the theories was something about frame rates, because the beginning
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, something to do with that.
Movement or time, which I think that is kind of similar to Arrival. Mm-hmm. That their perception of time is different. So, I mean, that does make sense when it comes to aliens or things of out of this not of this world. And that's what people said, that Nope, that's what Nope stands for, not of planet Earth.
Yeah, which
I think it's a little, I mean,
which does track. Maybe. I mean,
yeah,
that would be cool.
All right. That's it.
Yeah, let's end this shit. It's been a long one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.